Hey everybody, welcome back to another grilling video, and I am excited about this one. We are doing a great Southern classic, cornbread cakes. Now we're not doing them in the oven, we're doing them right outside on the flat top Blackstone griddle. You could do this in a cast iron in your house, so the recipe is easily adaptable. The best thing about these is you can actually make these like a pancake. Add a little bit more sugar than I'm going to show here today, and you can have them like pancakes. They're absolutely delicious. Or the way I really like to do these is make them just a little bit more savory and have them as a side dish, a dipper for things like soups, stews, and meat with sauce dishes. They're phenomenal that way. You can change the shape of them. Instead of making them round like a pancake, make them more like a a line, a stick, and you can use them as dippers, as cornbread. They are absolutely phenomenal, real easy to do. Let's get started. Every time I go to record, the crow sitting up on top of the mast, it starts cackling. All right, as I mentioned, this is really easy. In our bowl, we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and we're now going to go ahead and add in 1/2 cup of cornmeal. So I'm using white cornmeal. Traditionally you would use a yellow just because it has that cornmeal or corn cake look to it. All right, get our 1/2 cup of cornmeal in there. Now to that we want to add in about a 1/2 teaspoon or so of salt. I'm using a little bit of smoked salt. As I mentioned, I like it savory. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of baking powder, not soda, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. You can eliminate this completely. For a very savory cake, 1 tablespoon is just going to be a mild sweetness taste to it, perfect for a side dish or dippers. If you're wanting to make just a sweet sort of snack food or pancake, you might want to add 2 tablespoons of that. Now to this, we want to add in 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to start by adding in about 2/3 of it, because I want to make sure that we don't get it too thin. I'm going to slowly mix this in. Definitely going to need a little bit more. I actually don't want this to be quite as thin as a typical pancake batter. I want to have to scoop it down onto the griddle. Now we're going to go ahead and fire up the griddle, and we'll get these put on. We want this on a medium heat or so, and Blackstones tend to run a little bit hot, so when doing breakfast food, keep it down almost all the way. When you have it on low, the dial aims directly down. Think of that as the 6 o'clock position on a clock. I like to keep this probably at about 6:30 to 7 on the dial, like on a clock face. That's where I like to have it. So let's get this fired up. I'll show you how to do it. So you'll notice where I got the dials right here. They're kind of down at this 6:30 or 7 o'clock sort of position. That's going to be a good sort of low-medium heat, which is what we want for this. So you want to prep the surface like you normally would, a little bit of oil on it. That's all we got to do. I always do that to season it, but because what we're making, they're really good adding a little bit of butter to it. So I'm going to just make sure my oil is spread out real nice on there. And I'm going to put down a little bit of butter. If you've ever used one of these little butter bells, they're kind of awesome. You can keep your butter right out on the counter, and it lets it stay nice and soft. Oh, good stuff. We're just going to go ahead and put our batter down. Now you can choose the shape you want here. I'm doing this nice and slow, as I'm going to try to do sort of sticks, if you will. And you can certainly make them in their traditional pancake shape as well, though, like I said before, I enjoy these as a sort of dipper or snack into soups and stews, or heck, even just finger food for the kiddos. All right, you want to cook these just like you would a pancake. When they start bubbling on the top and then add a nice crispy edge along the bottom, they're just right. Always have another bottle of propane on hand. I just heard it go out. I highly recommend that second tank. This could have been a completely ruined cook. Took just a minute or so to pull one over there, pop it in real quick, turn it off, turn it back on again. The downside is that probably cooled the griddle just a little tiny bit, but I think we got it quick enough that we wouldn't ruin anything. All right, with these now starting to just bubble on the top, we're gonna go ahead and flip over the first couple. So it really is as simple as that. We have these guys just about done. Take these out. Place them right on our plate here. So that's it. I make mine in the shape of like a little stick instead of the traditional pancake shape, but that's perfect for dipping into a soup or stew or even a gravy or sauce with some kind of a meat meal. These are light and fluffy because we've mixed all-purpose flour as well as cornmeal. They have this great corn taste, but they're still nice and light and fluffy. That is good. Just that mild corn taste to them. I hope you do try these. They really are simple and delicious, and they're easy to do. Easy side dish, takes 5-6 minutes to prepare and cook. We're going to do a couple more variations of cornmeal recipes in the upcoming months. One of the things I want to try to do is something called hot water cornbread, or it's also sometimes known as hoe cakes, where you use the cornmeal, you pour boiling water into it as you mix it, and that basically cooks that cornmeal right there before you actually shallow fry it or deep fry it. It's going to be good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. We'll see you again next week out at the grill.